Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of More to Marriage. I'm your boy Marquise.
And I'm your girl Crystal.
Now listen, today we're talking about a very hot topic. This is actually what we're calling one of our red flags when it comes to marriage. Yes. Big major red flag. If you're dating, look for this red flag. If you are married, look for this red flag and do something about it. The big red flag is simply this:
Codependency.
Codependency. What is the definition of codependency?
It's an unhealthy
dependence
on your relationship.
On your relationship. That unhealthy. Now listen, it's okay to depend on your spouse. We're supposed to rely and depend on one another. But there's a level or a line where it gets unhealthy. It's this part of the relationship where everything I do, my whole being, I need to make sure I'm around this person, I'm with this person.
Yes.
And the reality is it comes and it stems from this lie that we're incomplete.
Yes. Have you ever heard that saying?
Yes.
Like, my spouse completes me.
Yeah.
Now, we've all said that before. I've said
we
that.
Say that.
We say it now, like my better half.
Yes.
And, there's something to that. But for some couples, they really mean that they feel incomplete.
That's right.
Without their significant other.
Yeah. And the truth of the matter is, you are one whole person, your spouse is one whole person, and you two have come together to become one flesh, as the scripture says. But at the end of the day, you are one whole person, and so is your spouse. We cannot go into marriage thinking, okay, I'm 50%, you're 50%, and together we make 100%.
Yes, no.
That's not it at all. Because you create this thing where my spouse is really
my everything.
Like and I have to come to this person.
My source.
Yes.
My source of joy, my source of peace, my source of happiness, my source of grace. And the thing is, that's too much pressure on our spouse. Because when we go to our spouse or see our spouse as our source, it causes too much tension.
Yeah.
It's too much on our shoulders to bear, and we're gonna fail every time.
And when our spouse tries to meet that, they'll never meet it. What honestly takes place is we're making our spouse try to fill a God-sized void.
Yeah, we're literally making our spouse God.
We're replacing the roles. And we didn't get married for somebody to complete us. We didn't get married for somebody to be our source. That is not the purpose and plan for marriage. No, we got married to this person so that we can glorify God together through this marital relationship.
Yes, and we're each other's resource.
Yes.
We help each other in the good, the hard, when we're in valley seasons, on mountaintops. We're each other's resource, but God is our source. God is the only one that can give us peace that surpasses all understanding, joy, mercy, grace. And so we can extend those things to our spouse, but we cannot depend on our spouse to give us those things all the time.
And we see in relationships where either the wife or the husband, they don't want to go anywhere without their spouse. They check in with their spouse for everything that they do. They have to talk to their spouse. They have no other friends. This is my friend. This is my life, my world. And all of those things can be seemingly good, but hear me when I say there is damage on the horizon. Yes. So one of the things we do to break the back of codependency in our relationship.
Yeah, and sometimes it's hard. So let me just mention that. Sometimes it's hard when this is your best friend. This is the person you go to for everything. We're not saying don't do those things, but there is a line. So one thing that we do just to check our heart and our spirit to make sure we're not leaning too much on one another is to set time and space to be in a men's group. Marquise is in a men's group. I'm in a women's group. We have to have our separate friends. We have to be around people that can call us up, speak things to us, could see things we can't see, so that we could just do life in a different way. There's things that I could talk to Marquise about, but when I talk to my homegirl about, she just gets it in a different way. Vice versa, right? So it's important for us to have our different friend groups. And also, we do something because our life has changed. We have kids, and so sometimes we can get kind of lost in the shuffle of each other and our kids and our family. And so once a quarter, we send, one of us on a trip. So this month, Marquise is going on a trip to be with his family. Y'all my family too. But he's going with his family, his friends, his cousins, and he's taking 48 hours to just hang out. Spend time with them, and I stay home and watch the kids. And then and then there's going to be a time where I get to go on a trip and do the same thing. So that's what we do, something to kind of just check that little indicator within us when we start to depend on one another a little too much.
That's right. And we are best friends, love each other, but we have to have spaces and places where we could go, and it's not being pulled on as far as I have to be the source for my spouse or vice versa. So the last thing that we'll say is this is so critical that you are in or doing life with other married couples. Man, other married couples can see things in your relationship, see those red flags.
And they can call you up.
Call you up. Not call you out, but call you up. Hold you accountable, pray for you in those areas.
Yes.
Okay, so if you or somebody you know are in that codependency stage, it's going to not take place in an event, but it'll take place in over time, sanctifying way where you can begin to say, you know what? I'm a whole person. My spouse a whole person. We have to find time to do things outside of each other.
And know this, it's not too late.
Yeah,
it's okay
absolutely.
if that's where you're at.
Yeah.
It is not too late. There's still time to do and be who God has called you to be as a partner with your partner. So if you find yourself in this and like, oh, that's me, it's all right. We all find ourselves there at some point in time.
That's right. All right. Well, until next time, always remember, getting more out of your marriage starts
with giving more in your marriage.
Peace.
See ya.